Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Yodaverse Untamed podcast. I'm your host, Luke, and I am very, very glad to have you here. So, imagine a bird so fierce it looks like a dinosaur, hunts like a ninja, and has eyes that will literally tear through your soul. I'm talking about the shoebill stork. Today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious birds on the planet. But before we get started, be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment your thoughts. Are there any animals you want me to go through or talk about and stuff like that? All links for all socials will be in the description below. Thank you so much for listening. Now let's get started. The shoebill stork is a stork that I feel like I have been interested in for quite a long time. They have a very interesting aesthetic. But before we get into the looks and all that, let's learn a bit about this bird. The scientific name for this bird is the Balaniceps rex, which directly translates to whale head king, mostly referring to the shape of the beak of this magnificent bird. Is it a stork? Arguable, but not really. It isn't really a stork. It's more related to the likes of pelicans and the such. And one nickname, or two nicknames in this case, that this bird has been given is the death pelican and dinosaur bird. And it has the features to prove both. But what does this death pelican eat? It primarily eats fish, so lungfish, catfish, tilapia, and similar fish. It hunts snakes, frogs, and even baby crocodiles at times. And it's famous for its death stare. This bird has a very unique glare that it gives anything that looks at it directly in the eye, which I find to be the coolest thing about it, outside of how magnificent and ancient it looks as a creature. And their hunting is very brutal and very precise. They just catch what they want when they want. Their success rate of hunting is 100% based on what I've seen. But where can we find this magnificent bird? So the shoebill can be found in places in Central and East Africa. So Uganda, South Sudan, Zambia, and some very, very small parts of Kenya and Tanzania. Only in swampy areas, but in very, very few numbers. In regards to the way they are socially, they prefer to be isolated. They prefer isolated, quiet areas, and they do not like human interaction. And they rely on dense reeds in swamps for nesting and hunting. Some fun facts about this amazing creature is they're almost completely silent except for a machine gun like bill clapping sound when greeting other shoebills, which I'll find and play for you guys. Another fun fact is they can stand completely still for hours while hunting. Can you imagine that? Being able to just sit completely still for 6 to 7, even 8 hours without moving an inch, without moving a feather while hunting. Another fun fact is the babies are raised with a survival mindset. So whoever survives is the best kind of thing. Only the strongest out of the chicks that are laid survive, and the others die. It's a very competitive ecosystem that these birds live in. And another fun fact is their wingspan. Their wingspan can span over 8 feet, which is absolutely magnificent. And again, helps if they do dive bomb hunting, which they do on occasion. In regards to their conservation status, they are classified as vulnerable on the list of conservation status. The population is between 3,300 and 5,300 left in the wild as we know it. Um, Mostly because of habitat destruction, poaching, and illegal pet trade, which are things that have affected the previous animals that we have talked about, like the king cheetah, for example. And that, as well as, I think poaching is one of the biggest ones, but habitat loss as well. So that is the shoebill stork, or the death pelican, as some people say it to be. And I hope that you learned something new today. I sure did. While researching this, a lot of things that I didn't know about this bird that I claim to have loved for such a long time. Enough that I even drew an image of one. I don't know if you'll be able to see that quite clearly. It might be flipped, but I'll put an image covering this screen right about now. Um, on this magnificent pod. Again, I hope you learned something new. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick um, fact drop episode of the Yodaverse Untamed podcast. It was such an honor to present this to you, to have you here, and it always is. So I'm looking forward to, sharing more using this small platform that I have, and maybe go learn more about this bird or any other creatures that you feel like you're interested in. This is a living relic. It's like part dinosaur, part mystery, um, and it's a reminder that nature is full of wonders that we still barely understand. And my goal with this channel is to be able to bring those wonders to light. If you ever get a chance to see one, respect that opportunity, because this bird is as rare as it is legendary. And I hope that I'll be able to see one in the wild in the future when I go on escapades or adventures or whatever. But that's it for this episode. Again, all links will be in the description below. Like, share, subscribe, comment what you think, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and goodbye.